The power of obsessive thinking, how champions are made. They'll tell you to calm down, to be more balanced, to not overdo it. They'll say it with a smile that hides fear, because deep down they know what obsession really looks like. They've seen what it does to the world. Obsession doesn't whisper. It doesn't compromise. It consumes. But here's the truth no one dares to say out loud. Every great thing that's ever existed began as an obsession. The light bulb? Obsession. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he found the filament that lit up the world. When reporters mocked him, he didn't flinch. He said, "I didn't fail. I found 10,000 ways that won't work." Who says that? Only a man possessed. Henry Ford. Obsessed with making the automobile affordable for the common man. They called him crazy. Told him he was wasting his time. But he kept going. Because the obsessed don't stop. They don't seek validation. They see something the rest of the world can't. A vision they'd burn their life down to build. And what about Walt Disney? That man was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He went bankrupt, lost everything, slept in offices. But he kept sketching mice. Kept pitching magic. Because something inside him refused to let go. Call it delusion. Call it madness. History calls it genius. You want to know where champions come from? They are born the moment someone refuses to let the world tell them to slow down. Obsession is the fire in the mind that doesn't die with one rejection. It's the voice that keeps whispering at 3:m. You're not done yet. And if you silence that voice, if you try to be reasonable, if you compromise with your calling, you'll join the crowd of those who once had potential, but never had the audacity to chase it until it bled. And this world wasn't built by the well-balanced. It was built by the unrelenting, the unreasonable, the ones who traded comfort for purpose and never looked back. Look around. Everything you see, every skyscraper, every invention, every innovation, is the byproduct of someone who couldn't let go of the idea in their head. And they nurtured it, fed it, obsessed over it, until it became too real to ignore. Let me ask you something. What are you obsessing over? Because you're already obsessing over something. Now, whether it's your fears, your failures, of what they said about you, or what you believe is possible. Your thoughts are not passive. They're building your future in silence, brick by brick. Obsession isn't optional. It's automatic. You just haven't chosen your obsession with intention. Champions don't just think big. They think obsessively. They allow one thought, one mission to dominate every breath. Not out of anxiety, but out of divine clarity. It's what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, "Desire backed by faith knows no such word as impossible." The obsessed aren't distracted. They don't chase trends. They're locked in, dialed in. They eat with purpose, speak with precision, breathe with intent. They are not trying to stay motivated. They are consumed by what they must become. And yes, told people will misunderstand you. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're distant. But distance is the price of elevation. An eagle doesn't ask pigeons for permission to soar. You want to be great? You want to build something the world cannot ignore, and then be willing to go where the obsessed go. Where sleep is a tool, not a lifestyle. It's where failure is a teacher, not a verdict. It's where pain becomes fuel, not a stop sign. It's where discipline is love in action. It's where mediocrity is a death sentence. Champions are not born. They are built in dark rooms where no one claps, where no one sees the grind, where the only light is the one you ignite in your soul. Do you think Kobe Bryant was just talented? The man practiced before practice, hours before anyone else arrived. He shot until his fingers bled. He trained like the game was already happening. because for him it never ended. That's obsession. It's Michael Jordan losing in the playoffs and inventing reasons to stay angry, inventing enemies in his mind, just so he could dominate harder. It's Elon Musk sleeping on the floor of his factory. It's Muhammad Ali saying, "I hated every minute of training, but I said don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Obsession will make you unrecognizable. You won't think like them. You won't talk like them. You won't move like them, because you're not chasing applause. You're chasing destiny. And destiny doesn't answer to the average. You see, the world rewards the results, but it never truly understands the process. It celebrates the masterpiece, but rarely studies the madness behind the brush. Obsessive thinking is not about being reckless. It's about being possessed by clarity. It's when your purpose is so sharp. It slices through excuses like a blade through smoke. It doesn't matter what stands in your way, because you've already decided. You are going through it, around it, or over it. There is no plan B, because plan A is not a plan. It's an identity. That's what separates the dabblers from the greats. You think Abraham Lincoln just hoped things would work out? No. The man lost election after election. He was mocked, dismissed, torn apart by the system. But he didn't stop. He obsessed over unity. He obsessed over truth. He obsessed over the soul of a fractured nation, until history had no choice but to follow him. That kind of fixation isn't normal. It isn't polite. It doesn't play by society's rules. It wakes you up in the night. It keeps you pacing the floor, drawing battle lines in your mind. It makes your heart beat faster when you talk about it, because it's not just a dream anymore. It's a demand. That's what obsession really is. A demand on your spirit that cannot be ignored. And when you surrender to it, when you finally say, "This is what I am made to do," everything changes. The distractions become noise. Doubt becomes fuel. And the fear? It bows down. Because obsession doesn't negotiate. It dominates. And no, it won't be easy. There will be days you doubt yourself, nights you question your sanity. You'll lose people. You'll miss parties. You'll hear them laugh behind your back. But the same people who laugh now, one day quote your words, study your work, frame your image in museums, because the future always belongs to those unwilling to lose the present for something greater. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't casually involved in the movement. He didn't dip his toe in activism on the weekends. He lived it, breathed it, marched it into history with blistered feet and a heart on fire. That's obsession. It's not a hashtag. It's not a trend. It's a consecration. And you're sitting on that same kind of fire right now. You felt it. You've had glimpses of what you could be. Visions that make your chest tighten. Ideas that scare you. Because deep down you know they're not random. They're assignments, sent only to the obsessed. The ones willing to pick up the burden and carry it through chaos. You think you're crazy for caring this much. And that means you're close. Because all breakthroughs live on the other side of ridicule. If you've never been called obsessive, you're not working hard enough. You're not locked in enough. You're not risking enough. Do you really want to make your mark? Then ask yourself this: what are you willing to bleed for? Because that's what obsession asks. Not what are you passionate about. Not what do you enjoy doing. It asks, what are you willing to suffer for until the world changes? That's where champions are made, and in silence. in isolation, in pain, when it's just you. It's your vision and the infinite weight of doubt pressing down on your spine. But you keep going. You keep moving, not because someone told you to, but because you couldn't live with yourself if you didn't. That's not motivation. That's transformation. And when you walk that path long enough, you start becoming something else, something the world can't label, can't contain, can't copy. You become a force, an anomaly, a walking contradiction to everything they told you was realistic. And you'll look back one day, not with pride, but with peace, because you'll know you honored the calling. You followed the obsession, and it led you home. There's a moment, a quiet, sacred moment, when all the chaos fades. The doubters go silent. The nights of struggle blur behind you, and you stand not where you hoped to be, but where you belonged all along. That moment is not gifted. It's earned through fire, through focus, through an obsession so consuming. It bent reality to your will. Because obsession is the gateway to creation. Every revolution, every invention, every movement started with someone no one believed in, except themselves. And that's what you must understand now. You don't need a crowd. You don't need applause. You don't need permission. You need to lock into your mind, aim like a heat-seeking missile on its final trajectory, and never look away. Suddenly the world is moved forward by the few who refuse to be realistic, and by the ones who wake up with fire in their eyes and fall asleep with battle plans on their tongue, by those who hear impossible and respond. Watch me. You have that in you. It's not a question of if, it's whether you'll decide. Because everything you are seeking is already seeking you. But it only answers to the one who shows up obsessed. So no, don't calm down. Don't back off. Don't apologize for being too intense. That intensity is your weapon. That fire is your signature. Let them sleep in comfort. Let them laugh in ignorance. Let them scroll their lives away. You were made for war, not a war of violence, but a war of vision, a war of self-mastery. A war against the lie that says you must be like everyone else to belong. You were not born to blend in. You were born to burn bright, to wake up with a purpose loud enough to drown out fear. Let them misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Just don't let them outwork you. Because in the end, life isn't given. It's claimed. And the ones who claim it are never the calm, never the casual, never the ones who just want balance. They are the obsessed, the possessed, the relentless few who carry one thought in their mind until that thought becomes reality. That is how champions are made, not through talent, not through luck, but through a mind that refuses to let go. So don't ask how long it will take. Ask how far you're willing to go. Don't ask what it will cost. Ask what it will cost you not to try. This is your time, your shot, your invitation to stop existing and start building something that will outlive you. If you've heard nothing else, hear this. The obsessed change the world, while the rest watch. So choose. Because your obsession is your superpower, and it's time to unleash it.